Hey guys, so you're on holiday, you have a camera with you and you use it to zoom into the sea and take pictures of family and friends. You can't take that camera into the sea because else it'll end up getting wet and breaking. At that very moment you think to yourself, I wish I had a camera to let me capture that moment with them. You're not too fussed about the ultra resolution, you just want that moment captured so you can casually look back on it sometime. Well, for me, I think that's what the Yeet action camera is. And if you're like me and you've experienced a moment like that, well, stick around and I'll tell you a bit about the Yeet action camera. I have tons of exciting footage to show you, but before we get into the good stuff, here are some of the main specs you should know about the camera. So the camera has a 16 megapixel Sony sensor. The max resolution it can record at is 2K. To put that into perspective, this video is shot at 4K. You can also think of it as 2K having just a little more resolution than 1080p. Next up we have the frame rate. At 2K the camera records at 25 frames per second, and at 1080p it can record at 50 frames a second. I always record at 1080p because of the higher frame rate that you get. The way I see it is having double the frame rate will be more noticeable in the video. The difference between 2K and 1080p will hardly be noticeable by the human eye. At the back of the camera there is no screen, but fear not, the camera packs a 155-degree ultra wide angle lens, so chances are you're more than likely going to capture whatever you're pointing the camera at. If you want to see a live feedback, don't worry, you're still covered. On the right side of the body there is a button. Pressing this makes the device emit a Wi-Fi signal that your mobile phone can connect to. The way you connect to it is exactly the same as the way you'll connect to your router at home. Once you're connected, just download the app on your phone, and once you open the app you should see a live feedback from the camera displayed on your phone. This app is important because it's the only way you can modify the settings of the camera, like which resolution you want to record at and other features I'll mention later on. There are only two other buttons on the camera. At the front you have a on and off button which doubles up as a way to switch between video and photo mode. Lastly, at the top you have a button to snap a picture or to start or stop recording. At the back you have two compartments. One is the battery compartment and the other is the memory slot that takes micro SD card and a micro USB for charging the camera. Okay, that's enough of the spec. Video time. Without further ado, I present a montage of sun, sea and sand captured with the Yeet action camera. What you saw was filmed with a bunch of accessories that sadly do not come with the camera, but you can pick them up for fairly cheap. I like this accessory because it prevents the camera from sinking as the handle always floats, and the bright yellow colour makes it easier to find in the sea. As you saw, the camera cage that I used was definitely put through its paces, but it held up its end and did not let any water through. The only letdown was that a lot of the time there was condensation around the lens part of the cage, and this showed as a blur around the edge of the video. Also, the audio through the cage is pretty much unusable, and sometimes it was hard to see if I was recording or not. At the top there is a light indicator that blinks a red light on and off when you're recording, but in bright sunlight this was hard to see. You can enable a noise indicator that beeps when you're taking a picture or recording, but that too was hard to hear in noisy places. I ended up taking the camera to night events, and I would use a selfie stick that came as part of the accessory bundle. The camera body has a tripod mount at the bottom which lets you mount the camera onto the selfie stick without using the cage, and this was great. I used my phone for live feedback and also used my phone to jump into the settings and activate a feature called Undistort. The Undistort removes the fisheye effect you get from having such a wide angle lens. I wanted the footage to look more like a traditional video camera. In the app there is an option to optimize night shots which should reduce noise. I was happy with the results I got from the night shots. Take a look for yourself. And here are a few snaps taken with the 16 megapixel camera. Overall the camera performed well. It's easy to use and definitely lets you get those shots that you'd be missing out on. Sure, there are better cameras out there like the GoPros, but when I watch footage back with my family, everyone is more focused on the fun we had rather than the resolution it was captured in, so it fits my need for holiday occasions. Links for everything I spoke about, including the accessories, are also in the description below. Anyway guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.